Retro Rob plays everything.
Hey, Rob here, and this video is about my Nintendo-based handheld collection. The reason I'm doing this video is I was originally going to do just a Game Boy one, but going through all my stuff, I realized that I've got a lot of overlap in my collection, and I don't generally mind that for some stuff, but this stuff doesn't really count as retro. I'm okay with having like a clone that does the same thing as the real thing, but having 2 or 3 of the same thing, just slightly different generations, doesn't really appeal to me that much. Also, I've been kind of getting into the 3DS a little bit more, so I'm going to upgrade to one of those 3DS XLs, the new ones, and go with that, and that's going to make a lot of my DSs here redundant. So we're going to be talking basically anything that can run the actual cartridge. So things like any of my emulation devices don't count unless they take a physical cartridge for a Nintendo product. So those things won't be here, but only the things that actually run real Nintendo cartridges. And most of this stuff's actually real Nintendo, believe it or not. But some of it's, you know, aftermarket stuff and weird stuff. So anyway, here we go. Let's get started. I wonder if I should, I'm going to actually pull this one back. I'm going to go with some of the older stuff. I do have an original Nintendo Game Boy laying around somewhere, but I have no idea where that sucker is, and I never use it. So I'll start with my Game Boy Pocket here, and I like this one quite a bit. This one is special because it got a cartridge in it. Yeah, it is backlit, and I did the backlight mod on this one, so it doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding. There's you gotta adjust it. Slides every time. Wait. That's volume. There we go. And as you can see, it's a really nice backlit screen. It wasn't too bad of a process to do. I've got a video on the process. But yeah, I mean, really, I like this little handheld a lot. It represents the black and white era very well. It doesn't force colorize anything, so I think it's a good addition to my collection, and it's interesting for people to see. So this one's definitely going to be something that's staying. And let's go on to the next one. I've got a Game Boy Color. These, this one I won't bother powering on, but the Game Boy Color, it does not have a backlight. Boy, I'm sure I have more of these. I'm like looking around right now. I'm sure I have more of these. But anyway, oh well. It also does not matter for this. But anyway, this guy, you know, no backlight. They're very kind of difficult to see. It's difficult to do a backlight project on these. That's why you don't see a whole lot of these backlit. It can be done. It's just kind of rare that it's done. I'm going to keep this one around because it is a different actual generation from the other one. And I do plan to backlight it someday just because it's something hard to do. Although I've got a whole lot of like other backlight projects to do before it. I'm still keeping it around. Plus I kind of like the yellow color, and that's my wife's favorite color. So it'll most likely stay in the collection. I think next we're going to go to the Game Boy Advance. This one is Game Boy Advance. Of course, it's color, 16-bit. Runs much at the level of a Super Nintendo, and it's a really nice concept. It's a really nice little system. This one was actually bought because I often buy 2 of the same console if I'm going to do some hacking to it. That way I can offset the cost of the hack. And then what generally happens is I do the hack and then don't do the second one. But eventually I will get around to hacking this one, and then I will sell it on eBay. So this one will eventually go. It won't be part of the collection anymore, largely because of this guy. This guy right here is a Game Boy Advance, and it's the original one too, but this one I have modified. And let's flip this guy on, and of course this one is backlit, and I absolutely love this one. This is probably one of my favorite Nintendo handheld items. It's got really good clear color. I know you can't really tell from this recording, but it looks really good. This hack turned out really well. It's not bulged at all. If you look, this greatly increases the battery, but actually it doesn't. That's a lie. It does on other ones that are already backlit. It does not greatly increase it. In fact, it decreases it. But it doesn't matter because while it has battery, it is really freaking cool. So I really like this one. And one of my favorites. Definitely. Alright, so we'll go on to the SP. This was at one time my go-to when I was younger. Oh, it's out of juice. That's very unfortunate. But anyway, it was running a couple days ago. I just used it. But anyway, this one, unfortunately, is the first revision. It is the darker one, so the color isn't real bright on it. You can play it in the dark. There's no problem there. But as I got older, you can definitely be annoyed by the fact that it's so darn dim, and it looks so dim next to newer models. So there was a second version of the SP made, and that version had a much brighter screen that was much more equivalent to what I have on the Game Boy Advance. In fact, a lot of those have sacrificed their lives to make the hack version Game Boy Advance screen. In this case, that didn't actually happen. The Chinese started making screens too. So, I mean, they always made the screens, but they started making these screens now, so you can just buy these screens and you don't have to scrap an SP to do it. So that's good. All right, so let's go on to a fake here, since we're still in Game Boy Advance world. This is one of my first, I think, fakes. In fact, I did attempt for a while to replace my SP with it. It didn't work out because this thing, it's not horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not good. The screen resolution isn't correct, so it stretches everything. It does run Game Boy Advance games directly. You can stick a Game Boy Advance cartridge in here. However, it will not run original Game Boy games or Game Boy Color games. So it will, however, if you put it on an SD card or a multi-card, sorry, because it does have some original games on there. And this sucker's got 1,000 games listed. It's pretty truthful about that. There's not a lot of repeating going on here, but there is a little bit. You see the asterisks, and I'm pretty sure that's when they've repeated it. But it does have a number of games on it, and it's got a pretty good collection. The problem with it is it's kind of cheap and floppy. You see how it's flopping like that, and the buttons just don't feel right. It's not bad. I mean, you can definitely play it. It's definitely okay, but it doesn't feel like the real thing. So it's not really the best way to play a Game Boy Advance game. But it's kind of cool. You know, you don't see them every day, so it stays in my collection because it's weird, and I do love collecting the weird. It did come with a power supply too. Next, I've got the Revo K101. Now, this is an interesting story because the Revo, this was made at a time when those SP screens were getting eaten up, so SP prices were going up. And this is actually a stand-in replacement for the, ooh, shoot, it doesn't have a cartridge in, for a Game Boy Advance. Problem is, much like its predecessor, or that other one, it can't run like a Game Boy Color game or anything. Not the original cartridge, but it does come with a multi-cart that you can add an SD to, and that SD, where is that thing? It's around here somewhere. I'll show you with my other multi-carts. But anyway, that cartridge will run Game Boy Color and other Game Boy games. This thing will also run some other game systems on it, but that's not its primary focus. It is very accurate at reproducing the Game Boy Advance. And it's got a really nice screen. I mean, look at that screen. It's even better than the other handheld I have. The only letdown is if I turned off the lights, you'd see some pretty significant screen bleed here. And the controls, They're not bad, but again, they're not right. I mean, they're definitely much better than the other knockoff one, but they're still not quite there. But it could definitely replace a Game Boy Advance in a pinch, and it's a really nice looking device. So I like it quite a bit, and of course it's staying in my collection. I'd never part with it unless I got wiped out by medical bills, because I live in the US, and that's what happens to us there. Alright. Next, am I going on? Yes! I think we're out of the Game Boy Advance world, and we're now on to the DS. So DS, I mean, what can you say about these things? My first one was the original kind of ugly one, and that one, I didn't really think that the DS would do very well based on it, but eventually, oh yeah, this one I reset, so we won't bother with this, but too much with it. But anyway, I didn't actually think it would take on. I really thought that it was going to be a big fail, but I started playing. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It had, I think it was XXYY. It had the Rub Rabbits in it. But anyway, that game was so hilariously awesome that I started getting hooked on the DS and started playing it. And I would take it to parties and stuff, and everybody'd take turns playing it. That wasn't totally afraid of it, and everybody had a good time. It was really good, so it was fun. Liked it a lot, and so I, continued on when they shrunk it and made it look halfway decent. So I got that one, and then this one showed up in a haul video a while back. I added it. This is the DS Lite. The DSi, and this one's got cameras in it, so you can take pictures. Not real good pictures, but you can definitely take pictures with it. And it looked, the pictures looked okay. This one actually came with a bunch of pictures on it. It's an Arctic White one. The big negative on this, of course, is that it has no cartridge slot. It is not compatible. Actually, the other one wasn't either. If you look at the other... wait. Oh, I'm sorry, the other one was. Come on, get this right, Rob. Okay, that is one last thing I should have mentioned on this one. I'm going to go back here for a second. This one runs Game Boy Advance cartridges. And this one, which is the DSi, has the cameras, and it's physically thinner. If you look, see, it's quite a bit thinner, and in my opinion, it's a little bit prettier too. But it doesn't run any Game Boy Advance cartridges, that is a big pain in the butt. But there's a camera. Look at it. I can see me. There we go. So that's, an interesting piece of history, but not that great. But anyway, these are kind of small, and the small screen really was a big source of eye strain for me. So when I got the chance, I ended up getting one of these guys, and this is what kind of started my love affair with the DS again. It's this big guy, and this is the DSi XL. Much larger screens, as you can see. Still a very thin form factor. The screens are really nice. I love playing DS games on this, and I think quite a bit of it. Again, though, it doesn't run advanced games, so you need something else to run advanced games. One thing I don't like is my aftermarket stylus sticks out a little bit, catches my thumb. That kind of drives me nuts. But anyway, that is the end of the hardware. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the games I've got on the thing. I'm going to start here with this guy. This is the R4DS. And by the way, a bunch of my DS games are missing. I have no idea where they are, so I'm sorry they're not going to be in the video. I have no idea. Like, a bunch of them are missing. So they were probably in a packet somewhere and got stored during some kind of event. But anyway, the R4DS basically is a device, and I've got a video on this, that can run pretty much any DS game. It claims it's 3DS compatible. It'll run on a 3DS, on most unpatched 3DSs, but it doesn't run 3DS games. You need a different one for that. So this one's actually DS only, but it's pretty interesting. It boots up to this menu, and then you You choose it. There we go, and then you can just run your big old pirate game. And most of these games actually have anyway. Its big use is when you go somewhere you don't lose it like I just freaking apparently did. So it's pretty useful. It doesn't hold a whole lot of games on it, so I don't know how great it is as a pirate device. It holds maybe 20 tops, because you can't use that big of a card on it. So it's not a great pirate device, but it is pretty good if you want to have multiple games on the go and don't want to take the cartridges with you or a big case. So interesting multi-cart. And plus you can just drag stuff on it, which I really like. That's a big plus. And it takes these little micro SDs. All right, so another type is this guy. This is the K card. This one came with the Revo K101. Same basic idea. It has a micro SD card in it and a little adapter, and you load them onto the device, and then you can run them. It's got a little menu. Anyway, let's just plug it into the K101 here. I don't know how much I've got on there. Let's see, Revo. Am I holding it upside down? I'm going for the button and I can't find it. So I'm holding it upside down. Gaming expert, I tell ya. Gaming expert. This will work on the original, Game Boy too. So if you look, I've got like some NES games and stuff on here too. But those games won't run. So here's Gunstar Heroes, and it'll just load it up in like an hour. There we go. So there you go. Actually, I think this is a Genesis game, isn't it? Oh no. Well, there definitely is a Genesis version of this. And it works, you know. No problem. A little slow. I prefer playing off the real cartridges. They're a little bit more reliable. Almost all the hack cartridges are only semi-reliable and don't work some of the time. So that's kind of a pain. This one is a super card. This one's really nice. I like this one quite a bit. It's a little bit faster than the other one too. Let's see. And bring that up. You tell I'm a little bit tired? Can you tell? Come on. There we go. Load it. Load it. Working great. It does not take that long to power up, so something's not right. Try that again. Come on. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This is another thing, because you press on the top of it, this tends to get loose. Look at that. And that's not... You gotta hear it click. I want to spoil the next item. Come on. 20 minutes later. Let me just pull it out here. Maybe it's just gotta read. Yeah, there we go. Now it's right. Yeah, that is one of the negatives about it. Because it's up here, you'll hit it with your finger every once in a while. And there we go. Okay, so you get a little menu, and this holds a lot of games. It makes it very useful. This combined with the hack screen really just make this thing freaking awesome. Again, because it's kind of hack, well, it's not even kind of hack, it's definitely hack. Not everything works perfectly on it, so don't expect 100% perfection, but most things work on it pretty well, and it's pretty nice. I do like it. Next we have, I'm not going to show every game like this, I'm just showing you the multi-carts because I think they're more interesting. This is a 369-1. I think I did a video on this one too. And that one I think I got it from China originally, or I might have got it on eBay. I'm sure it came from China though. As you can see, bunch of games on it. What's kind of funny about it is a lot of these games, if you look, they're just like, yeah, they're just like regular NES games. That's hilarious. Crazy. But anyway, yeah, neat little thing. I think it was like $7. I'm not even kidding. It was like $7 to $10 delivered, so it was well worth it. Let's go through some of the more legit stuff real quick. I might have some duplicates in here. Let's see. All right, so we've got Zelda Seasons. This one's pretty good. I got Pokemon Crystal. This might be a fake. It may well. If anybody's an expert on this, let me know about it. I got it at a rummage sale a while back for really cheap. And I think it's kind of suspicious looking. But anyway. There you go. I have not played this game much, Dragon Warrior. I really wanted it bad. And then, of course, I didn't play it. These are, of course, all Game Boy Color stuff. Donkey Kong Country. Quite nice. And let's go on. I think we're going to go to regular Game Boy already. Is that it for the color? Really? Could have swore I had more. There's another Bomberman around here. Eh. Alright, keep going. There's a Bomberman. I do love Bomberman. One of my favorite franchises over time. There's a Windows 95 version that was really messed up. Game & Watch Gallery. This is actually kind of a neat one. I put it on for shows and stuff, but I really don't play it much myself. It's not an era of gaming I really want to return to too much. And we got Power Quest. Another one of my favorites here, we got R-Type. DX. This is really good. I really like this game. Well worth playing. Even though it's in black and white, it's well worth playing now. I got Mega Man. Of course. Oh, yeah, here's another. V-Rally. It's a Game Boy Color game. That over there. Heavily organized, I tell ya. F1 Race. Which was originally a Nintendo game, as I recall. Space Invaders. Nice version of Space Invaders. This is Mario Land, I believe. Wait, is it Mario or Wario? It's Wario Land. It's actually a really good game. I didn't really like the Mario version for the Game Boy at first, but I did like the Wario right away. Thought that was pretty good. Next we got Micro Machines. Great game on the Amiga, where I first ran into it. Power Racer, never played it. Looked interesting though. Quest for Camelot. I believe this is complete garbage. Pretty sure. If I'm wrong, let me know. Dragon Warrior. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Nothing like an adventure. Of course I have Zelda. That's a requirement. Quite a good version of it as well. I believe this is Super Mario and the Coins one. Nope, Super Mario Land. Metroid. Heck yeah. That's a good game too. It's fun, and I suck at it, but I really do like it a lot. I was pretty impressed that that game actually was able to make it onto a little Game Boy. Tetris, which is, you know, you just kind of need it for the Game Boy. I realize everybody has it, but it is a requirement, so you must have it. I'm droning on. You're going to go to sleep. Wake up. Alright, Super Mario Land 2. Sometimes I forget I have this stuff, man. That's just crazy. And Paperboy. Good version of Paperboy, too. Not bad at all. Alright, I think we have expired the original Game Boy stuff, and we can go on to the Game Boy Advance stuff. And there's a bit of it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is that Martians game. Here. But Ugly Martians. It's actually a good game. I played it. It's a platformer. And not a bad one at that. Believe it or not. Advance War 2. Great game. Defender. Have not played this version of Defender yet. I'm going to assume it's arcade original though. Sitting Ducks, which is complete and utter garbage. It's a kid's game. It's not terrible, but it is garbage. Mario Kart Super Circuit. Star Wars Trilogy. This is actually really good. Not a bad game. Impressive looking on a handheld. It's the Konami Arcade Advanced. Yeah. That's a pretty good one too. We got Super Dodgeball. Just a wonderful game. I know, Dodgeball does not sound fun. This is good Dodgeball. I'm not kidding you. It is a fun game. It's a lot like the one on the Neo Geo, which is really good too. This is garbage. Battleship, Risk, Clue. And then finally the Pac-Man collection. This actually I do think is a really good collection of Pac-Man games. I like the remix that's on here. It is a really enjoyable version of Pac-Man. So that's well worth getting, and it's cheap. I mean, you don't pay much for that at all. And then we'll go on to my little bit of DS stuff. Not a lot again, and I already covered the multi-cart, so you don't have to worry about that. I got a lot of stuff that I've just never unboxed too. So it is what it is. Fossil Fighters. My kid used to like that game. Mario Kart DS. Again, I'm missing some games. Some of my favorites. I like that game though. This is the 67-in-1 multi-cart. It doesn't work on every DS. It does work on my big one over here. But it is unreliable. Like most of these are. This one's like kind of a cautionary tale of what's not great about these multi-carts. It's just not, it doesn't work well. See if we can get her to go here. It hacks in. And yeah, it did work. It's loading. There we go. And some of the games don't even really work. But some do. It has kind of a lag in the menu. So don't expect Pokemon to work perfectly. I think it crashes partway through. Maybe Super Princess Peach will work. It's a smaller game. Loads up. It's a lot like the other ones. I think it uses Moonshell, doesn't it? I didn't see at the beginning whether it said that or not, but pretty sure it does. There's me. More me. Yep, there we go. So it actually does run games, but again, does not run them does not run them very reliably. All right, let's finish this up. Only a few more to go. Vampire Secrets, which I think is one of those touch and find stuff games. It's in the box. I'm never gonna play it. Rise of the Guardians adventure game. Busy selling it with one of my 3DS's. Or my 3DS. Cookin' Mama, actually like this game quite a bit, so keeping that one. It actually sits in my shelf. I wonder if that's where some of my games went. Ben 10, Galactic Racing. Pretty unlikely to keep it, considering it's in the box. Yep, never unboxed it. We got Snoopy's Grand Adventure. It looks very grand. No. Pokemon Ranger, I actually like this. This is like a Pokemon roguelike, or roguelite. So, nice game. I'll keep that one around. It was semi-controversial. A lot of people don't like it, but I like it. Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played this, but I certainly plan to play it. It looks really good. I've got a couple friends who say it's fabulous, so I'll definitely be trying that. Prince of Persia for the DS. I like the Prince of Persia games. So I'll probably try that one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. danger of the ooze. If it's a beat 'em up, I will definitely play it. Pac-Man 2 and the Ghostly Adventure. This one I have been playing, and it's okay. I like it. It's pretty good. It's got some decent 3D. I'm looking forward to playing it on the bigger screen on the 3DS XL. I think it'll look a lot better if I can actually see it. Then finally, Steel Diver 3DS. This is my second or third time owning it, and I've never played it. But darn it, this time I'm going to play it. That any good, by the way? Let me know. Alright, so that is it. That is my Nintendo handheld collection here in 2017. If you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Leave them down below, or you can of course email me, rob@guysgamesandbeer.net. See ya!
Retro Rob's gaming videos.